What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm working on the OBS again. I'm actually installing the sway bar. So when I did the axle swap, so as you know, I did the 05 Plus axle swap, specifically the 08 Plus axles on this, 08 through 10 axles on this truck, but I never installed the sway bars. And that was for two reasons. I kind of wanted to see what it felt like without sway bars, and I was waiting on this machine to get here so that I could make my own brackets, which is kind of what I've been working on, making these things. And well, as you saw, I already made one side, kind of like my prototype, and it seems like it's gonna fit pretty good. Let me show you. So we have our sway bar right there, pretty much just hanging in place, and obviously, as you can see, it's way off from being able to fit properly on this thing. So I made myself these pretty cool little brackets that are gonna bolt up to the frame right there. Now the cool thing about this is that the frame already has these two holes on either side that you can use to be able to pretty much bolt, you know, this bracket to it. And so with these in place, the sway bar is gonna be able to pretty much, you know, bolt right to it, and it should give us a perfect fit. So like I said, I'm gonna get the other side cut on the plasma table, and then we'll take them off, get them cleaned up, tack them together, throw them on the truck, make sure that everything fits, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so we have all of our parts cut on the CNC plasma cutter, and man, I love this machine. As you can see, this was from the first bracket that I made, and all of these are basically the second one that I'm gonna make, and this thing's just freaking amazing. The fact that I can make these things, you know, here at the house and be able to weld them and have a finished product that, like I said, hopefully I can offer you guys. It's freaking amazing. I love it. I love making stuff like this. I've always loved fabricating. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, get those parts all tacked up, fit it on the truck, and if everything goes good, I'm gonna go ahead and get them welded. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've got this thing all tacked up and ready to weld, and I gotta say, I love doing stuff like this. It's really fun. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and throw some welds on this, make sure they're nice and strong, and that they look as best as they can. And then we'll clean it up a little bit, throw some spray paint on them, and they should be good. Okay guys, so we got this thing pretty damn well welded, and if I can guarantee you something, is that this thing's not going anywhere. So we got it completely welded all around, every seam. That thing is solid, and I just love welding, and I love doing projects like this because it's, you know, like I said, it's really fun. Plus it always makes you a better welder. The more you weld, the better you're gonna get at it. I've been welding. I started welding like in high school. Like I took shop classes, you know, I took all the shop classes I could. I took, you know, woodworking, I took automotive, and I took welding, and it was just always really fun. But after high school, when I went into ironworking and industrial construction, I kept welding there. So like I said, I love welding. They're not the best welds, they're not weld porn, but there's some good welds. And like I said, that thing's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna let that chill for a little bit because it's super hot. And so while we let that chill, I am gonna go ahead and install this on the truck, get that all done, and we should be good. All right guys, so now I'm actually gonna install the bracket on the truck. And one word of advice that I would probably say is put this bolt in first. It's gonna be the hardest one to put in. It took me like 5 minutes just to get that one bolt in, especially with like my big old sausage hands that I have, sausage fingers. But you can get it in. And So once that one is in, we're gonna go ahead and actually install our bracket. There we go. Get that one bolt in, and then we'll put the other bolt, which is a lot easier to get in. Maybe. Man, there's so much crap falling on my eyes. I guess that's why I should probably wear glasses. I swear I thought this bolt was going to be a little bit easier. There we go. Definitely way easier. And there we go. Now, I am going to go ahead and leave all this stuff, you know, kind of loose. It does have a little bit of play of it. It does have a little bit of play in it, and that is on purpose. Now, this would be a perfect time to put in new bushings, which I probably should have done, but it's all right. Pretty sure I'm gonna have to end up taking this thing back out again down the road. Don't drop hardware in your face. It hurts. Take it from me. Anyways, that one's in. All right, guys, and pretty much there we go for this one side. Now all we gotta do is get everything nice and tight, and we should be good. I am, however, gonna leave this loose still until I get the other side on, which I'm gonna do right now. So the hole on the driver's side, the one towards the cab, is a little bit small. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill it out with a 1/2" drill bit so that I can actually install my bolt. And of course the sway bar is in the way. And there we go. So now with all of that done, we should be good to install that damn bolt. Now I am using a piece of TIG wire to help me kind of guide the bolt in place. Like I said, this is I would say that this is the hardest part of this whole thing. It's not hard, it's just frustrating, I guess. But we had it. It was so close. It was basically there. All right. Oh, it's so close, so close. And there we go. We got it. Heck yeah. So we're gonna actually throw the bracket on. And one word of advice: don't drop this bracket on your face. It'll hurt. So don't do that. There we go. Now we'll throw on the other bolt and nut on here. Again, don't drop hardware on your face. It hurts. Come on. Come on. Just drop in there. So close. Why does that want to drop? Come on. There we go. There we go. Yes. We got it. We got it. Okay, so now we have this entire thing bolted in place, and all we have to do is get all of these bolts and nuts tight. So I'm gonna go ahead, get all that done, and then we'll actually get the sway bar links tight, because they're loose right now, because you want this to be what kind of like sets it in place, and then go ahead and tighten these bolts, which, you know, have the bushings and all that stuff on them. The truck is on its way, so once we have all this tight, that should be like the place where it's gonna end up at. So success, we have the sway bar installed completely, and it looks great. So as you can see, it is completely installed. It's kind of hard to get a good view of it, but it's completely in there, both sides. This line, like I said, it's a little bit on the way. It is touching, but it is a hard line with a plastic kind of like cover over it, so I think it should be fine. And this one's just dangling down here. I gotta do something about them, like I said, but they'll work. All the links, everything is tight. It has plenty of clearance on the track bar bracket, so that's good. And it has just enough clearance on this rad support, so we are good on this thing. It looks great. The hardest thing about installing it was definitely getting these bolts tight, and even that wasn't really that hard. What I did for this one is with a what was it, a 5/8? Yeah, so a 5/8 wrench on this one from the from this side of the frame to hold it. Got that one tight, not a problem. This one was a little bit trickier, and I ended up doing it with this ratchet 5/8 socket, and this one has a swivel head on it, so I kind of stuck it in through the horn. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Let me see. There we go. So like I said, I went in through the horn like this, and then on this side of the frame, it has that hole that you can use to put it on the head of the bolt and actually hold it. So like I said, it's hard, but not that hard. Another option is, if you get your truck, your axles with, you know, like the frame, try and keep this little nuts. You can use these nuts instead on the frame side. You can use all the stock hardware that came with the sway bar to install it on the frame side, and that'll be a lot easier. And I was gonna try and find these and include them with the kit, but I could not find these nuts for the life of me, at least not like aftermarket. And through Ford, they're like 10 bucks each, so they're just way too expensive. And like I said, this method works fine too. Everything is grade 8, so it should hold up just fine. Okay guys, so now the last thing to do is stick this thing on a test drive and just see how much better it is. So let's go. Okay guys, so all I can say is wow, you can definitely feel a difference. So like when you do this, it just feels way more solid. Like, it's hard to explain, I guess, but this thing definitely made a difference in the way that this truck handles. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with the results. Like I said, this thing feels way more like solid when you turn it, which is something that I was noticing, like I said, before I installed it, that it just felt, I guess you could say kind of like sloppy, you know, like you would make like a correction on the steering wheel, and you could feel the body kind of roll a little bit, and it feels way better now. I'm definitely happy with it. But anyways, I'll catch up with you guys. Back at the house. Okay guys, so I couldn't be happier with the way that this install turned out, with the way that those brackets turned out. Obviously, we're back at the house, and those things held up. Then again, I didn't have a doubt in my mind that they would. So like I said, that is completely done. I'm pretty happy with them. I am gonna test drive them for another week, just so, you know, be sure that everything works fine. But they are going to be available on the website, and if you would like, you can pre-order them right now, and like I said, in about a week they should be good to go. That should also give me enough time to get all the material and get them pre-made so they're ready to go. Another thing, talking about materials, the ones that I made them out of this hot rolled plate, which is not as good of a quality as I like using, and the ones that I do build to sell will be made out of cold roll, which is this stuff that is way nicer than a hot roll. That was just some free plate that a friend brought over, and that's why I used it for mine. But like I said, once I do start making them to sell, just like the bumper brackets, they will be made out of cold roll plate, which, like I said, it just looks way better. Plus, if you would like, they will be painted at no extra charge, so you can get them raw or painted. They are spray painted, so it's not like powder coated or anything, but if you like something that looks a little bit better, you can get them painted. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I was planning on doing the steering stabilizer, like the OEM style one, but I'm gonna kind of hold off on that. I'm not sure if I want to put extra holes on it. The sway bars were really cool because there was already, like I said, 2 holes on either side of the frame rail to use. But for the I don't even know where I have it anymore. But anyways, to use like the OEM style steering stabilizer dampener, I would have to drill at least 2 holes in the frame. And I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, so I'm going to think about it. Let me know down in the comments if you think that I should make, you know, like the OEM style steering stabilizer, or maybe figure out a way to do like a dual steering stabilizer on the truck. Like I said, I'm not sure, so let me know down in the comments. And that is going to be it for this video. Again, check out my website, blowingdiesel.com, if you're interested in the 2017 plus bumper conversion bracket, on the door handle reinforcement, or on the sway bar brackets. And go ahead and leave me any comments, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll catch you for the next one.